Hey, it's Ducky and welcome back to another video doing my Witch's Apothecary shelf. The last video I did, the first video on this, has just reached 1k views, which is insane. I think the most views I got on a video before that was like 100, so it's a little bit insane to me that so many people have seen that video. But clearly people liked it, so I don't know what I'm going to get done in today's video. I'm hoping to have a go at trying to make some clay things, like a little clay cat and a couple of bits, but first we're going to have to work out whether the clay I've got is actually usable, because I bought it probably in 2015. It's sat unopened since then because I've been too scared to try clay, so I'll have to see whether that is an option or if I'm gonna have to buy more clay. So I'll see you in a bit. Oh, and the makeup is the Crow inspired, the original. It doesn't look as good as I was expecting it to, but hey ho. As expected, my clay is rock solid, and I have more than I thought I did. So I have bought some clay softener, so hopefully I can make this clay usable. If not, I'll just have to buy some, but I probably won't be able to buy some until after Christmas because money is a little bit tight after having a weekend away in Cardiff. Okay, so I really didn't think I was going to get this to a workable state. When I was cutting it up, it just seemed to crumble and was so hard I didn't think it was savable. But this actually, I mean, I've never used clay before, but I feel like this is a good consistency. I will say my hands are killing. I have joint issues and chronic pain, and my hands are really hurting. But hopefully if I do this a lot, I can build up some strength in my wrists and hands. I am trying to go to the gym more and doing weights more to try and help with that as well, so we'll see. This stuff worked really well, and I don't think I've used that much. I mean, yeah, there's still nearly a full bottle, but yeah, I'm gonna have to try and make something with this now, which is probably going to be the hard part, because I don't think I've ever really used clay. I used clay at school and I think I really struggled with it, but I didn't really know much about clay, and I have watched a lot of YouTubers who use clay, so I think I should be able to get there. I've just used some plastic packaging as a surface because I don't have a surface that I can use that is light, that it won't just stick to. So I think this should be fine because it's quite thick. as well. Okay, it's the next day. I had to stop with the clay because I was going to have a bit of a meltdown. I watched some more videos and of like working with polymer clay, and I realized like, and especially like using the Fimo, which is the one I've got, everyone using it, it was a lot less squishy when they were using it, so I realized I'd probably over softened it. But luckily I still had quite a bit of the hard clay, so I kind of just crushed that up and added it into the clay to try and get it to a firmer consistency. And I did that, and then my hands are really hurting, and I didn't video any of it because it was stressing me out. But I think I'm at a place where I can model with it, so we're gonna have another go today. Okay, so straight away this was so much easier to work with than yesterday. The clay was holding shape, and picking it up lightly wasn't causing it to completely squish in a ball like it was before. I was still trying to make a cat as my first thing, which was stupid. Don't be like that. Don't be that ambitious. The first time you're trying to make something using a completely new medium, don't try to make something really difficult, especially if you're trying to do it from memory without any references. It's not going to look right, as I learned. But I think I cut that out for you. So we're starting first with a pestle and mortar, which is a bowl type thing with a stick that you grind things up, like your herbs and spices. But you probably already know that. I was using a rounded pen to use the ball stylus to create the rounded shape of the bowl, and a craft knife to help straighten the bottom out. I have a load of actual ball styluses somewhere that I've been using as dotting pools for painting for years, but I have no idea where they are. They might actually be in my garage from the summer, which I keep forgetting I've got art stuff in there. I need to sort that stuff out, to be fair. It took me quite a while to get the stick part right. It just kept looking far too big and out of proportion to the bowl, but I did finally manage to get them looking pretty much perfect, I think. And they are so cute. I love how they're looking so far. So now I'm making a flower pot. This one I didn't make hollow because I wasn't sure I could make the walls of it thin enough, and because I was going to be putting a plant in it in the future, I don't think it's really necessary. So I just rolled a lump of clay into a pot shape, making sure to keep the bottom flat. For the rim, I just made a sausage of clay and then used my fingers to flatten it, and then used my craft knife to cut out my desired shape. I broke the strip trying to pick it up, so I had to redo it again. And I decided to cut out a little bit in the middle of the pot to help future me when I want to add a plant into the pot. Also, I just couldn't keep hold of my clay. It's all so small. I edited out me dropping these so many times. I think half of my footage was just me dropping things. this bowl was pretty simple, just a ball of clay that I moulded around my pen lid. Next, I made a couple of handles that will be for some gardening tools. I'm still unsure of how I'm going to make the rest of it so far, but I've made some holes in the top, so hopefully that will help future me out. Here's me trying to do a cat again. I thought I'd leave in a little bit of footage of it, but again, I gave up. I couldn't get the face to look anything right, and the body didn't look quite right either. I made this cube of clay that I want to bake and then cut into crystal shapes, but that'll be in another video as I haven't got to that. I had a go at making an incense holder here, which is pretty simple. Just trying to shape the edge to curl up was the hardest bit. I thought I might need to prop it up in the oven, but it worked out fine without it. I think that's probably just because it's such a small amount of clay. If it was on a bigger scale, I think you probably would need to prop it up. I haven't uploaded a video in a while because I thought I would be able to finish filming, editing and record a voiceover for this video on the week of Christmas. Mind you, I am disabled, autistic, and had plans nearly every day that week. Needless to say, this wasn't uploaded just after Christmas. It wasn't uploaded the first week in January either, which was my stretch goal. As I should have expected, I got very ill after Christmas and wasn't able to get myself to do any kind of miniature making until recently, so here it is now. I then decided to have a go at making a hollow plant pot by wrapping a strip of clay into a cylinder with a bottom and a rim. It was easier than expected, but getting the edges of the clay to blend without collapsing the pot was still very difficult. Okay, so these have come out of the oven and they're all cool because, well, they've been sitting around for over a week because it was Christmas. But now we're going to paint them. I'm so happy with how these came out and I can't wait to do more clay things. This is really fun. So we've got an incense holder, we've got 2 plant pots, we've got a pot, mortar and pestle. We've got some handles for some garden tools, a lump of clay that I'm going to try and cut up into crystally shapes, and a bowl. So painting these took forever and so many coats. Don't worry though, because most of it was not filmed because I was so frustrated. So you don't have to watch me paint the same base colour a million times. The white I really struggled to get opaque and not streaky. That's also part of the reason why this video is so late, because I was getting so frustrated with the white paint that I was just ignoring it and not doing it. And I'd already said that this was going to be my next video, so I didn't want to do another video until I got this one out. Stupid, I know. I used Posca markers to make a terrazzo, stony type pattern on the mortar and pestle. The brown was a little too dark, so I just dabbed it before it dried to mute it a bit, and I really like how that looks. I used an orange paint pen to give the plant pots some highlights, and then moved back to my normal acrylic paints to weather everything with a watered down brown wash coat. Then I used some white dry brushing to bring back some highlights. But that's it, and we'll be on to the final results in a second. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I didn't get any video footage of it all on the shelves, so have a picture instead. Thanks, bye!